Hi, I'm Bernd Nussbaumer from Macrobeat Limited, and today I would like to have a look at the recent German GDP data as well as some of the European industrial production data, and later on we're going to look at the sort of impact on the euro-dollar side. One thing I would like to point out that what we have seen in the recent time is a sharp deceleration on the German GDP and the Eurozone grow altogether. Maybe something to remember, if you could have slide number 1 with the German GDP. You can't really see the latest Q4 GDP number on there, as it just came out 0.00, which is just the fact that we avoided a recession in Germany. One thing to consider here is what we have seen in 2011. 50% of German exports have gone to China, which the current number stands around 10%. So no surprise there how fast the German economy has decelerated, and it really makes the economy in Germany almost on the sort of same path in terms of correlations for the sort of risk market, similar to the Australian economy. If you go over to slide number 2, please. So here what we see is the Eurozone industrial production. So this is really this sort of a mirror image to what we have seen with weak German GDP. We have seen with the weak Italian GDP that shows a recession in Italy. And if you look at the chart, you could easily start to think about a repeat of 2012, 2013. It has a sort of similar hallmarks when ECB President Draghi came out with his famous statement about whatever it takes to save the Eurozone. So these data start really to be somewhat of a concern, and is really the sort of current topic about the worries on the global growth slowdown, which we definitely see on the Eurozone. And I wouldn't be surprised if the ECB would indeed have to start delaying the first rate hike that is penciled in for September, October 2019, and we could see a delay into 2020 given how low we have the current CPI, how much pressure is there on the European data. I would like to look into the euro-dollar chart now. So far the moves have been rather moderate and muted. There is a sort of new, fresh sort of breakout on the downside in the recent few days, and we probably going to aim at this 111.80 level, the Fibonacci supports that we have been looking at for quite some time now. With the sort of balance of evidence between, the weakness in the Eurozone, the pressure that we're going to be building in the Euro area, we just have today announced that we're going to have Spanish general election on the 28th of April. We're going to have the EU Parliament election in May. We have the sort of general risk of populism popping up in Europe. So if I were the sort of European policymakers, I would really start to be more concerned on what's ahead of us, especially in Q1 and later in Q2 with the EU Parliament election. The last chart I want to show is just the EURCAD, which you can see that there the downtrend has started a lot earlier. That is mainly between the divergence between the Bank of Canada that has been hiking rates and still looks as if it were to hike rates going forward, versus the dovish ECB. So this is a trend, even though we had a little bounce in the last few days back on the sort of little, risk concerns. But this is probably a trend that could continue, where the euro, no matter which euro pair you want to pick, there's a general risk that the euro is going to heading lower in the months ahead for the medium term. So this is it for me. I wish you a lovely weekend. Thanks very much indeed. Bye.